What 30? 130. Look at I look it up right beforehand, and I still get it wrong.
That's
So
okay. You're only
130.
100 off.
Willow today. Willow, a hero's journey. What an adventure. Um, Before we get started, I do have some sad news.
Okay.
Are you ready for some sad news?
Um. Okay.
Have you ever seen the Chucky movies?
Um. No.
You're aware of the Chucky movies, though.
Yeah, I'm aware of him.
Okay. Well, the actor who played Chucky,
Brad Dourif.
no, um, Ed Gale. Ed Gale, an actor and stuntman who is most famous for being the physical performer of Chucky.
Okay.
He died at 61. He had dwarfism, which is kind of a theme of today's episode, dwarfism. If you
When
don't
did
like, what?
when did he pass? Or is this
Like
like?
yesterday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, However, so yeah, dwarfism is kind of the theme of tonight's show. Um, the 27th, he died.
Okay.
Um, but turns out Ed Gale, not a good guy.
No.
You know how on Wikipedia they have like certain sections
Mm-hmm.
for people?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has a whole section called legal issues and pedophile accusations.
Oh.
So not a good guy. But I thought it was interesting that he passed away. Him being, um, him having dwarfism
Right.
for the episode Willow, obviously big dwarfism. How are you?
Quite the cold open on that one. I'm doing pretty good. You're still have a job, don't you?
Yeah, nothing has changed. I have gotten a lot of questions though from only old white men being like, they're all confused why I'm delivering their mail.
Yeah.
They're like, aren't you on strike? I'm like, no. Can we read the news?
So for
Yeah,
someone who doesn't read the news as much as maybe they should, why aren't you striking right now? I thought Friday was the day.
we are technically striking. We're performing a strike action, which is we're banning overtime. We're not doing overtime.
Okay.
And that's a form of strike action that somehow hurts the corporation. Um, Somehow,
Okay.
but but yeah, we're not striking because we don't have any money. Ran out of money, so they
Hmm.
can't pay us. So they're
Hmm.
like, how are we gonna do that? But today, Canada Post sent their final offer.
Okay.
So I guess the union are looking that over, and so who knows? We'll vote on that, I'm sure. So never end. Do you still have a job?
Yeah. Still working. Our mail person who always comes is still coming. That's kind of how I knew you weren't striking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just text me next time. Be like, hey, what are you doing?
Instead of like you up, I can ask you striking like that. I'll
Yeah,
make sure I
exactly.
text you around 11 p.m. or so. I'll do that next time if I'm ever curious. What's going on new with you there, Joshy?
Um, so last episode, I told you we were looking for a new place to live.
Yeah.
We went and saw a place this weekend on Saturday. Um, View Street. You ever been on View Street?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've viewed it before.
Nice. We really liked it. It's a decent price, a little small, um, but we applied and we got it. It's a ninth floor penthouse apartment, right before Cook Street, so like pretty good, not downtown.
Hmm.
But then we passed on it because maybe it's a little too small.
Hmm.
So we thought there's something better. Today we're supposed to view two different places. Remember the bin four we were talking about where I used to live last week as well? The bin 4 on that corner across the street from like the Home Sense.
Yeah.
There's a, an apartment building behind the bin 4 that we're supposed to look at today,
Mm-hmm.
but the dude canceled on us
Ah,
last minute, so we're going tomorrow.
okay. That would be a good, nice little spot.
Yeah, we're also afraid that might be a little small. It's hard because we're going from 2 bed, 2 bath, but we have to downsize
Mm-hmm.
for more money, probably. But then there's one that came out today that was in South Jubilee, little 5 minute walk from your work
Ooh,
that I really hope we can look at and get. It looks pretty good.
that'd be good. We could even we just hang out. I'll just walk over after work. We can do in-person podcasts. Think of the possibilities.
Yeah, so like instead of you having to go to Tim Hortons, you can just come to my house and make a peanut butter and jam sandwich.
There you go. Think of the money I'll save. You can just give me a copy of your keys, and I'll just pop in.
Yeah. Did you watch the finale of The Last of Us?
No, I even started season 2.
Oh, I thought you were into season 2.
No, season 1 was pretty good, and then I don't know. I just haven't got into season 2. I also don't have the whatever it's on, Crave or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 1 way better than season 2.
Plus, I've heard, plug your ears, spoiler alert, that Pedro Pascal's character dies pretty early in the second season. Everyone knew he was going to die, but apparently he died a lot quicker than people had anticipated.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never played the games. It's PlayStation only. I never had a PlayStation that could play Last of Us.
Right.
So I didn't know. I didn't have any spoilers. So people did say like, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch season 2. I'll come back for season 3." I'm like, "Oh, why?" Because he dies. Episode 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
But he does come back in flashbacks, so he's in the season, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an Ellie season for sure.
Yeah. All right. Did you watch your season finale of Survivor or whatever?
Yes, we watched Survivor. That's right. It happened, and then so the right person won, but then they announced today the the season 50, so it was just season 48 that finished. Season 50 comes out in a year, and they announced the cast for that. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I
Who's
heard
on
it got
boards?
I heard it got leaked, and then they had to announce who was. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it got leaked, and then I think they were always going to announce it after the season 48 finale.
Hmm.
But the White Lotus guy's in it, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, I heard about that. And somebody from season 1 and somebody from season 2. Colby from
Colby,
season
yeah,
2 or something.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that probably won't get me to watch it, but that's nice to know.
Yeah, nice to know. But it's in a year, so
It's kind of like you. Nice to know.
um, stop it. Edward Jenner, his observations of milkmaids led to the first ever vaccine, which was used to combat this disease. His observation of milkmaids led to the first ever vaccine, which was used to combat this disease.
Um, Ricketts? I have no idea.
Smallpox.
Oh, okay.
On April 3rd, 1973, the first cell phone call was made from this company's prototype Dynatac to a competitor, Bell Labs. This company this company did the first cell phone call. What company was it? You ever have a Razor?
So Motorola then?
Yeah.
I did have a
Did,
Razor.
Were you gonna guess Motorola ever? Was that ever in your thought process?
It was one of the things that came into my mind, but I don't think I would have guessed it.
This one's TV characters.
Okay.
You
You
don't
know
watch
me.
TV, you're not gonna get it, but it should be easy
Okay.
if you are paying attention. In a 1998 episode from his show's 10th season, he learns that his middle initial J stands for J.
Yeah, it's Homer.
Homer, yeah, from The Simpsons.
Yeah, I knew that one.
We'll save the other four for later on.
Let's do that.
See, this is nice. We're getting back to our roots here. We talk for a little bit, no issues, internet issues, and then we just jump right in.
Not a single issue so far. I have some wood right here. I'm going to knock on it.
We did have a good episode last week. My mom said she loved it. Thought it was very funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Last
So
week, where we watched The Monkey. That's right. Not a great movie.
The Monkey, yeah. Which so Willow, we watched Willow. 1988, I believe. I don't know if it's a cult classic, but a pretty classic film.
Yeah.
The Trolls. Do they not look like monkeys to you?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah. This is definitely one of those movies where you tell people, oh, I'm watching Willow. And they go, you haven't seen Willow? Like it's a classic that everyone must watch, apparently.
I think we grew up outside of that window, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. But I mean, everyone's seen the Star Wars movies. Anyone worth their salt, anyway.
Yeah, this was a George Lucas film for sure. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that
This
either.
was, this did kind of feel like a Star Wars film
Yes, it did.
because you got like Val Kilmer and Han Solo, Willow, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. You
George
okay there,
Chewbacca,
buddy?
Is that? Oh, that's just a cat. Yeah, attacking the back of this trifold.
As they do. They'll find something to attack. At least it's not your
Yeah.
leg or your head or your face, you know?
When I was driving home today, like there was a taxi in front of us. We were on the highway, and it ran over something, like a shoe or something that wasn't heavy enough to crack, but it hit the windshield and like left like a scuff mark and like a little bit of some scratches, but not enough to crack the window.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that would scare me. No
We had to
doubt.
wait for ice cream after because we were so scared.
Makes sense to me. Where'd you go? DQ?
Parachute.
Oh.
In Langford, right down the road from us. We're going to be leaving.
Well, there's a second parachute that's on whatever the hell street that is. It's kind of near where I live, sort of.
Yeah. True.
So you can always go there. Or you can always go to Marble Slab if you're more downtown.
Sure. Dairy Queen, we bought a box of dilly bars recently. And I forgot how good dilly bars are.
Oh, yeah. They don't fuck around with those dilly bars, I tell you.
No, very good. Did you like Willow?
Did I like Willow?
It's 2 hours long.
Yeah, 2 hours long. I wasn't crazy about it. No.
Yeah.
My guess is, I mean, I think I know you pretty well. I feel like you probably didn't love it either.
It's a middle of the road film for me. It surprised me in some spots, bored me in others.
Yeah.
Like, what was that two-headed monster?
Yeah, that thing was cool. Kind of out of nowhere.
A lot of green screening happening.
Yeah, a lot of green screening. A lot of
whales.
Yeah, those two little, like the brownies. Is that what they were called? Yeah, those guys were annoying. Like, I felt as though they didn't add a single thing to the movie whatsoever.
One of them is a very well-known actor now.
Yeah, I know the one guy. He's in A Few Good Men.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
where I know him best. But yes, he's in a lot of things.
I'm sure he's been in a podcast movie. Kevin Pollak. Let me just
It's possible.
take a quick candor. Yeah, A Few Good Men, Grumpy Old Men, Grumpier Old Men.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
All those movies.
I have seen Grumpy Old Men. That was pretty good.
Willow's in his third film. Wayne's World 2.
I'm not really.
Canadian Bacon, a movie that I was thinking about doing. Oh, I gotta pick a movie for next week. I don't have one. Forgot all about that. The Whole Nine Yards, Doctor Dolittle 2, not one. The Santa Claus 2.
Right.
Maybe not in a podcast movie.
No, doesn't seem to be. He is now though.
He is now.
Not a great start. Not a great first entry, but there's always room to redeem in Your Mother Ate My Dog, I would say.
I got a podcast episode 130. I was pleasantly surprised by Warwick Davis.
Yeah, he was the best. He was the best part of the movie, definitely, for me anyway.
Val Kilmer met his wife on this film.
Yeah, the girl.
Sorsa.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, girl, and then the actor who played the evil queen died about a month ago. So,
well, fitting. Lots of people dying. I know you like to talk about that.
90.
90. That's old.
Yeah. Val Kilmer also died recently.
Yeah, this is what, like our third Val Kilmer podcast movie?
Could be fourth.
Could be fourth. It's Tombstone. And he's in that one spy movie, like Top Secret.
Yeah, and a vampire movie. One of the many vampire movies we did.
He's in one of the vampire movies we watched?
Is he not in like a vampire movie we watched? Am I wrong? Am I thinking of somebody else?
It's one way to find out. Another little search.
Come on, buddy.
In the middle of the podcast. I'm not seeing it.
Maybe not. I'm thinking of somebody else. So yeah, confirmed third.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta start thinking about what I want to do next week. That's here and there. Yeah, Warwick Davis was probably the best part of the movie for me as well.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Say that again, sir?
A lot of action.
Yeah, there was a lot of action. I found this. Warwick Davis was definitely very charming, but also I think he just kind of suffered what I felt like a lot of the characters in this movie suffered from, which was just being kind of annoying. Like I found something annoying about every character. Warwick Davis least of all. But there was a lot of like, help me.
Right.
It's like, okay, fine. But yeah.
Yeah, some Lord of the Rings. I mean, Lord of the Rings hadn't come out yet.
Well, not the movies that we know, but there was the animated one came out before this.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's bad of me to say that it's a lot like Lord of the Rings movie. Because,
Well, I think there's been some critique of George Lucas that he's kind of like takes things from other properties. Like that, there was this whole thing that Star Wars is based off like some film. I can't remember which it is, but And then you watch it and it's like, wow, there are quite a lot of similarities. But yeah, there was like some Indiana Jones things going on. There was some Lord of the Rings type stuff going on. Star Wars.
Yeah. He did have a good. I read a good quote from Mr. Lucas. That I can't find now, but basically he was like, I've been doing movies about the underdog, the little guy overcoming it. So now it's time for me to do an actual little guy.
Right. A movie about an
Um,
actual little guy.
yeah, that's the 80s. That's not how I feel. That's just what he said.
That's just what he says. A quote. Paraphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought, I mean, for a good action movie or a fantasy film, you got to have like a good villain. I don't know if the villain was really
Yeah.
that interesting.
Well, the villain was fine. They just suffered from the trope that a lot of like seemingly very powerful villains do, and that's they don't they can easily turn you into a pig, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so they should be untouchable because they have so much power. But then they don't they forget that, and then they let Willow, trick them into. And he could have, she could have easily squashed the whole comeback from those guys.
Yeah.
And like Warwick Davis had the wand, he didn't use it very often.
No.
That would have solved many of his problems.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, I don't know. It felt like this is one of those films that people watch when they're young, and it becomes beloved, and they remember it fondly. But I don't know if those people went back to watch this, they would feel the same way. Perhaps it has not aged well.
Yeah, as adults, it's great.
Plus, plus a lot of the effects weren't that good either. I mean, some were cool, like that big two-headed thing. That was cool. But like the
Yeah,
little brownies were like very obviously green screened, and I don't know.
it was the 80s, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, like when I think of Star Wars, the original ones, all the
Mm.
practical effects are really cool, and when they do use some special effects, it doesn't stand out as being really terrible. And that was years before this, right? So
Yeah, the 70s.
yeah, and 80s. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like a lot of the things, there was nothing really that stood out. Just all kind of like either middle of the road or maybe a little less than that.
Yeah. Um, so you got your guns out because it was the hottest day of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't have Monday off, but many Americans had Monday off because of
That's right.
Memorial Day.
That's right.
On Memorial Day, the Veterans Association says the U.S. flag should be flown this way from sunrise to noon only. What way should the flag be flown on Memorial Day from sunrise to noon?
At half mast.
Well, they call it half staff.
Okay. Sure. That.
I don't know. This question. Oh, this question doesn't really make any sense, but I'll see if you like basketball, right?
Yep.
You've heard of March Madness,
Yep.
college basketball tournament. In college basketball's March Madness tournament, this round is comprised of the Elite Eight. What round would that be called? In like a normal bracket.
The I don't know.
The quarterfinals. It's a
Oh,
weird. I guess I could have told you
I thought
The
it had.
category is fractional terms.
Uh,
That would have helped.
that would have helped. I see. I thought it was going to be some sort of fanciful special name, but that's like the
Well,
same
the
name
Elite
that.
Eight.
Yeah, but like every top 8 of any playoffs, that's the name of
Sure.
it. The quarterfinals. Okay, no problem.
Have you looked at much sheet music in your life?
I did play piano for 9 years, and I had to read sheet music.
Don't know if I knew that. On sheet music, it's also called a quaver. Fractional terms. It's also called a quaver.
A quarter note.
An eighth note,
Uh,
which I guess is close enough. And then the last question, it's art and artists, $400. You can dine al fresco before you enjoy the frescoes at the Uffizi Gallery in this country.
that sounds pretty Italian.
It is Italian.
Yep. Fresca. Everyone knows the sugar-free Italian drink. Fresca.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a Fresca?
Probably 2024.
Okay. That's good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll put that in my memory palace up here.
Yeah, Willow kind of dragged on a bit. It didn't need to be 2 hours.
No.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could have cut. I'm happy Val Kilmer got his love story.
Yeah, I guess so. It was also extremely formulaic, don't you think?
Yeah, but that was Star Wars.
Yeah, well,
that's the hero's journey. It's the whole.
I guess so, but I think that it has perhaps a little less of that just because it's like a trilogy. And so like the second one ends like really the Empire has won. The bad guys have won for the most part. But yeah, you're right. If you were to take the trilogy as say one entity, it is, I guess, fairly formulaic, but
yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's Gino. I know that butt from anywhere.
There's his butt, yeah.
How'd you know?
He's sitting on the ground. He can't hear you. Sitting on the ground is good because you get all the cats.
I know he can't hear me. It was implied that you would echo what I just said.
Oh.
Hi, Gino.
Hi, Gino.
Who's a good boy?
We shaved him recently.
You immediately stopped the echo. Who's a good boy?
Oh. Who's a good boy?
There we go.
Got the computer. He's gone.
Bye, Gino.
See you later. Bye, Gino. There you go.
Thank you.
Wow, it's so nice having the same time as you, not having to jump.
Yeah, this is stupendous. I think sitting on the trifold mattress, I don't know. I don't think I fully understand why you would think that would be any better, but obviously it is.
I'm close to the ground and the door.
Does the internet flow through the ground at your house?
No.
Okay. Just checking. Why are you making a stinky face?
I'm trying to find a movie for next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find any information. Filmed in Wales. Willow, a cult classic. Not a movie I've seen before. Not a movie I had any interest in seeing. I don't know if I'm fine. I would have been fine. Never seen that movie.
Yeah.
Didn't really change my life at all.
Yeah, me as well. There's definitely some classic films, like 80s films, that I have not seen that I don't anticipate me ever seeing. Like, I've never seen The Goonies. And that's when everyone like loses their mind, or I've never seen The Goonies. Oh my God, you've got to see The Goonies. But people say that about Willow, but I saw Willow. I mean, wasn't that good?
I've also never seen The Goonies.
Yeah. That's okay.
I've
We
also
don't
never
have to.
seen what's the movie where young Jerry O'Connell finds like a dead body at the train tracks or something.
Oh, you're
Stand
talking
by
about
Me.
Stand By Me? I have seen
Never
that.
seen Stand by Me. Okay.
I've seen that one. But yeah, there's some other ones that aren't immediately coming to mind, but I haven't seen um, Close Encounters
Okay.
of a Third Kind or whatever, and I haven't seen. I saw E.T. when I was like a little kid, but
Yeah, I
I
don't
could
think I've seen E.T.
E.T. Phone Home. That's all I know.
Haven't seen Mac and Me.
Right.
Yeah. Um, trying to think what else happened. They just went on a journey, and oh, they're trying to save a baby. That kind of got old. But we didn't talk about the fact that Willow came back in 2022 as a Disney Plus show. You about this?
Yeah, I did. How did that do?
It got canceled after one season,
Oh, nice.
but Warwick Davis was in it as Willow. But I think it mostly centered around the baby, the grown-up baby.
Ah, yes. Well, that's kind of how you know that they'll reboot an old 80s thing, and if it doesn't really work out, maybe the original content wasn't that great. Who knows?
It was a cool premise for a film, though, like a story. Evil queen kills a bunch of babies. One gets away.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I did like how they also included many actors who shared the same dwarfism as Warwick Davis.
There was a lot, like a lot. I was thinking about that.
Whole village of them.
Yep.
Some familiar faces in there, um, like the warrior one. He
Mm-hmm.
was in an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Remember?
I don't remember that. There was one guy that who was R2D2. He was like in the band that was playing.
Right.
Yep.
The like the like the old guy who did the whole finger thing. He
Mm-hmm.
looked familiar, but I didn't look up what he was in.
Yeah, he very well may have been in something too. There was one other
He
guy
looked
that
like
I really recognized. I'm like, oh yeah, I've definitely seen him. Tony Cox. Yeah. He was in Beetlejuice. He was in Spaceballs. Friday. He was in a lot of things.
Do you remember Jingle All the Way?
Oh, it's too bright. You can't see him. Yeah, I remember Jingle All the Way.
Well, I thought so with Jim Belushi and the Santa, and they had a smaller Santa.
Yeah.
I thought that actor was in it, but he wasn't. He wasn't in it.
You were fooled.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything about Willow? More about Willow you want to speak on?
Um, I don't think so. Also, like the score was fairly boring as well.
Sure.
Especially when you think of
It's
Star
generic.
Wars, like the music is extremely famous, or like Indiana Jones, the
Yeah.
music is extremely famous. And this I wouldn't be able to pick out this music from a lineup. It's pretty generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about. I
Yeah.
think that's all I got to say.
Is this anybody's favorite movie?
I think this is definitely somebody's favorite movie. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, acting. How do you feel about acting?
It was okay. I thought Warwick Davis was pretty good. I thought his character was strangely written. Like he was like very
Sure.
helpless. I didn't really like that so much. Val Kilmer was all right, and everyone else was kind of just there, you know.
Yeah. I thought Val Kilmer was better in this than he was in both the other films. Well, maybe not too soon, but Top Secret for sure.
Yeah, I definitely prefer him in Tombstone, but yeah, in Top Secret that was not great, but yeah, he was okay. So I think maybe I'd give acting like a 6. Yeah, I mean it is an action film. You don't need like insanely stellar performances. They were fine.
No, I think considering um, there probably wasn't too many like leading actors in that film, or actors who have maybe had as big of a part as they had in Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like we didn't even talk about the talking goat,
Right.
but no, I thought they did well. I was gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7 for acting. I thought acting wasn't bad,
Okay.
not bad at all, and yeah, it wasn't. It I had no notes, no negative notes for acting. I mean, the ending, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. Ending, I thought it was obviously we knew it was going to happen. He was gonna uh, he was gonna beat the witch, beat the queen, and win, and keep the baby to end up giving the baby away. Um, but it was done in a fun way. The whole sleight of hand with the baby, I thought was interesting. Um, I like the lightning effects and like the you saw the skull. Um, it was a happy ending, so 6 for me.
It sounded like a child was screaming in your house.
No child was screaming, but the door's closed, so I have to open the door for my child.
It's a
Um,
cat.
yes, it wasn't. The cat isn't screaming. There is a child screaming, but they're outside. They don't live here.
Okay, I
One
understand
second.
now. Okay, I'll see you
Yeah,
later.
you can.
Uh, um, yeah, I know. I'll wait. You can probably still hear me though. Now that I think about it, because you're wearing AirPods.
Yeah, not far away.
Near enough, or you're just right there. Yeah. So for ending, I mean, I wasn't crazy about the ending. It was extremely formulaic. I knew it was going to happen, and yeah, it just didn't really inspire me all that much. I mean, it's nice to get a happy ending here or there. See, I thought you didn't really like the happy endings. You liked like the different kind of endings, but you've become soft in your old age. That's fine.
Depends on the film. This
Okay.
is not a Disney film. Disney films, you gotta kind of have the happy ending.
I suppose so. Um, yeah, so I guess I give ending maybe like a 4. I didn't really like it, but it was happy, and that's fine, I guess.
Would you have rather the Queen win
Hmm.
set up a Willow 2?
No,
Too Fast, Too Willow?
no. I just felt I could have done a little more with it, but whatever.
Okay, well, what about the whole movie overall out of 10? What do you think?
I thought it was pretty average. Um, I thought there were some nice moments. I really liked the first like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I thought it was very interesting, like world building, and I don't know. I thought it was cool, but there wasn't enough like I don't know the contrast between like the good and the bad. Like the evil wasn't evil enough, and so like it wasn't like the danger didn't really seem that real to me. So I just didn't feel like there was much stakes going on, which I felt was part of the problem.
A lot of killing.
There was killing, yeah, in theory. I don't know. I just felt everything was fairly dull. So I would give this movie a 5 out of 10. I think that's being perhaps even a little generous. but I don't want to upset too many people. I wasn't a huge fan. Some nice moments, but a 5 out of 10.
Okay, I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. I like the acting.
Hmm.
The ending was what it was. It was always gonna be happy. It was a little interesting in my opinion. Yeah, I did like the atmosphere. It was interesting. There were some cool moments with like Willow with his wand. He transformed the troll into what ended up being the monster, and like it kind of grew out of the guy's back and popped out like the alien monster, and then became, yeah, just some wacky stuff, which I appreciated. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Probably won't ever watch it again, but maybe I'll have children one day.
Hmm. Would this be one you would suggest your kids watch?
Maybe once they're 10 years old.
So this is a movie for a 10-year-old.
I wouldn't. Well, what's even the rating on it? This doesn't seem like a movie for children. 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. It made a lot of money,
Hmm.
but I can't see.
When you look at the scores on Letterboxd, it
Yeah.
gives you like a scale of 1 star to 5 stars, and then how many people voted for each one. As you can see, kind of like a little bar graph. And
Mm-hmm.
this one is like pretty flat near the very bottom, and then there's like a big bump in the middle, and then it kind of flattens out a little bit, and then a big bump at the 5 star. So it's kind of like, and I think those 5 stars are the people who like loved it as a kid, probably. 5 stars,
Yeah,
so nostalgic.
I can't see what the movie rating is. If it was like a PG or a, it's probably a PG, PG-13, maybe a
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
But that's Willow.
That's Willow for you.
130.
130 episodes.
Yeah, 131 next week as we head into June. It's crazy. I'm just gonna put the scores in. Willow, 1988. I gave it a 6, much like last week. Gave it a 6. You gave it a 5, much like last week when you gave it a 3.
Yeah, this movie was definitely better than The Monkey. I'll give it that.
Next week we're doing the Goonies. Or do they just call it Goonies?
I'm pretty sure it's called The Goonies.
Let me look it up. The Goonies. Sometimes we like doing this, where like you'll pick a movie, and then I'll pick a similar themed movie,
Mm-hmm.
or vice
80s
versa. So
80s
we'll
classic.
the Goonies. 80 classic. 80s classic. It is also 2 hours long. It might be on Crave.
I'll find
As
some way
well.
to watch it. Just
Or
like,
it's,
I don't know what it
I know it
is.
was on Disney.
I don't know what it is. I mean, Goonies is talked about a lot more than Willow. I'll say that. But beyond just that, I feel like Goonies is going to be better than this movie, based off I don't know what, but I just kind of feel that way.
Oregon kids follow a pirate's map to gold. I mean, Lord of the Rings. Sean Astin's in it. Josh Brolin's in it.
Yep. Yep.
It is on Crave.
Okay, I don't have that, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll find a way. But yeah, it's also people quote it all the time. Hey, you guys.
Oh,
That's from that.
I look forward to adding that to my repertoire.
Nice word.
Have you thanks. Have you ever seen the movie Whiplash?
Yes.
Well, I had Whiplash here for 131, but clearly
That was a good movie,
not
but
good
I've
enough.
also seen it 2 or 3 times. So,
Yeah, no
but
Whiplash. It's now the Goonies.
okay, cool.
Oh,
I'm happy with that.
yeah, thank you for mentioning that. You've never seen it because that helped. I was doing a random movie randomizer generator, I guess would be the correct word. Um, and it gave me The Kid, the 2000 Bruce Willis movie where he meets himself as a kid.
I've heard of that one.
Never heard of it. You have heard of it?
I have heard of it. You know what? I'm going to predict what the next movie it's going to give you is. It's going to be the the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from 2008.
Okay, one second. Willow, we did. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Uh, Daddy's Home 2.
That was going to be my next thing I was going to say. Daddy's Home too.
But maybe the next one, The Imitation Game.
Oh yes, with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Keira Knightley. That one has high rating.
Yep.
And then the one after that is Print. Well, this is actually one I looked at doing because it was high up on list. But Princess Mononoke.
Princess
You seen that
Mononoke.
one?
It's
You
one of
would.
the few Studio Ghibli movies I have not seen that people say is the best. But
It's high up on lists.
it was just recently in theaters again for I think it was like the 30th anniversary or something like that.
I have found the movie I'm gonna do for 133 though on randomizer.
Just
Thank you.
now?
Another. Yep. It's another Stephen King. Thanks, buddy.
Oh wow.
Well, I assume you haven't seen Children of the Corn.
I have not seen Children of the Corn, although I am familiar with it. It has the lady from Terminator in it.
We might not do that. I'm just going to put it on my list just in case I run into this situation again where I'm not prepared.
Okay. The Goonies. That's great.
Yeah, 1985. Have you? Do you have any plans for this week coming up?
No, I mean I
Do
plan
you have a race this weekend?
no. I had one last weekend.
Right. How did that go?
I came second.
Out of how many teams?
19.
Two. How long is this race?
That race was 16 kilometers. So it took us an hour and what was it? An hour and 12 minutes? Hour and 11 minutes? Something like that.
Do you have Strava? Do you use Strava for your paddles?
What's that?
Give her Strava.
I've kind of heard of it. What is
It's
that?
an app. It's like an app that runners use, and then it just tracks like the path you run. And it tracks how fast you're going and how many kilometers you do and the time and stuff.
Right.
And then after you get like a cool map. So
Some
people who cycle also do it.
I know there's definitely some like on Facebook people will post their little oh, did my workout and it'll be a little red outline of where they
Yeah,
went and how far and what their max heart rate is or whatever.
yeah. Be interesting for a paddle.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not the worst idea to start tracking that kind of thing, but
I did it for one of my walks um, this week. It's interesting. It just drains my battery. So is it worth it?
right, you need that battery to watch Northern Lion videos.
Um, yeah. What is it? What's the bad food called?
Scrandle.
Scrandle.
That's my favorite dull, I think. Scrandle.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I think if I was European, it would hit better, but
Yeah. There's not a lot of
anyways,
Canadian ones in there.
no, I just looked at the time for the first time in a long time, and it was 50 minutes. Look at that.
We're nothing but, if not consistent. Well, Josh, it's been a can of corn, and audience, it's been a can of corn as well to you, if you like corn out there. There's a guy at my work who will open cans of corn and just eat it straight out of the can.
No comment.
I find it extremely
like-
odd.
Like the small Asian corns, or like
No, like
take a fork and just eat the
kernels of corn. Yeah, that's right.
Well, if this happens, Children of the Corn, episode 133.
That's true. Oh, wow. Hello. Yeah. Why did I start talking about corn? Oh yeah, can of corn. Yeah, he's literally, I could say it's been a can of corn, and he would really probably get a laugh out of that, because I call him out every time he does it. It's like, oh, well, there you are with your corn again, and he's like, oh yeah, and I was like, I tell him, like, that's a bit strange. He goes, oh no, what's strange about that? Well, I mean, like, you're the first person I've ever met who's done that, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird, definitely weird, but teach their own, I suppose, as they say.
Think of his poops.
Well, yeah, you would know he's a corn eater, I bet, by examining those.
Yeah, you have to ask him.
Yeah, I'll ask him about his poops next time I see him, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, first thing.
First thing. Okay, well.
It's our first. Sorry you didn't have any Jesse time today. It's our first episode where we didn't have any issues for a long time.
It's true. No Jesse segment, and that's fine. I don't think it was especially popular. So.
I didn't ask my mom what she thought of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard. No one at my work has come up to me and say, "Hey, that Jesse segment this week was really good." It's never happened.
I did listen to Ghost Ship while delivering mail on, I think, Monday or Tuesday.
I bet you that was probably a pretty good episode.
I liked it.
Yeah. I do think it's one of the, it's weird. Like, as I'm recording this, I always think, who is ever going to want to listen to this? But then, I know that's a glowing review of ourselves, but then I listen to an episode and I go, oh, this is actually pretty funny. And I could see myself listening to this. So I'm not surprised that you liked the episode.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'll go back even further and listen, and I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
You'll say something, and then I'll think of the answer should be, and then that's what I'll say.
That's what you say.
Classic. That's me. So.
Josh from 3 years ago is the same Josh I see before me now.
Sometimes I'll say something totally different. Like, oh.
Maybe I'll challenge myself to do that tomorrow. Put on an episode from days past.
Yeah. Make sure you wear some sunscreen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, a great episode again. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And I hope everyone has a great week and weekend and whatever. If you celebrate weekends, I hope it's good.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, bye.
Bye.